This one was another game that I thought sounded stupid. This was another game that I thought sounded stupid. It was a dumb idea, but once I played it on the N64, especially with how nice the water looked back then, I was like, whoa! And this was one of those must-have games, and I unfortunately only rented when I was playing this at home. When I went off to college, though, you work a little, you get some money, even when you're in school. You visit an electronics boutique at a time when they're trying to get rid of all their N64 stuff because PlayStation 2 has taken over everything. And then you see something like this in the discount bin, and you're like, yeah! And you snag that as well as Ocarina of Time, and you go have a blast with an N64 that you called home for because you want to hook it up to your computer in your dorm room. You don't have a separate TV, but you bought a capture card for your computer and then called home for your consoles. What I particularly like about this version on the Wii U versus the Wii's Virtual Console version is they brought back the Kawasaki agreement. On the Wii version of this game, Kawasaki Jet Ski, the whole agreement between Nintendo and Kawasaki had expired, so all the references to Kawasaki were gone, and some of it was a little awkward. So you would actually see Nintendo DS ads in an N64 game. It was weird. I could go dig it up in the Wii menus if we really want to do that. So, I do actually still have my original Wii. It just, there we go. I do still have my original Wii. I just use it as a GameCube player nowadays because basically you're allowed to send everything over to the Wii U when you upgrade it. I wonder if that's the same way with going from Wii U to Switch. Alright. Hey, Stuart. Hey, there I am. You used to always punch my name into this. Custom, heavy, heavy and tight, so I'd cut through the waves. I never got the physics in this game. We should change out the settings, though, so you don't accidentally open that menu again. There was no select button on the N64, so set it to menu. It's almost like Nintendo should have done a different default map. Right, get me the Z right. Set the Z right to the Z. Oh, man. Passing the 3-hour mark with all this retro stuff. That's more than I can say for most DSO nights. It is after midnight, though. I do have some things to do around the house before calling it a morning.
Welcome to Dolphin Park.
I used to just come here and mess around all the time. I wouldn't even try to play the game.
Warm-up time. Follow that dolphin.
So, is there any kind of Kawasaki branding on these things? Oh, look at this. I also want to apologize. I want to apologize to the audience tonight for streaming in 60 frames per second. I was originally thinking of playing ESO tonight, but if I was just playing all retro stuff like this, I have a 30 frame per second profile, so we don't have to hog bandwidth or anything. My channel is still too new and too underdeveloped to get transcoding from Twitch, so it's really kind of got me wondering if I should even do anything in 60 FPS. Or if I should just play straight 30s, so my channel is more accessible to people with crappy internet. Yeah, there's a couple of things that Twitch is a little bit cruder than YouTube on, and transcoding is one of them. If I stream on YouTube, I have plenty of 30 FPS options and transcoding right off the bat. Definitely a competitive disadvantage for Twitch that YouTube isn't doing a good enough job marketing. Yeah, this feels okay. I could even be audacious enough to play this with the Wii U controller if I wanted, but I want to save the Wii U controller for Wii U games. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to find another first-party Wii U controller. Probably some third-party thing if that thing breaks, so current gen only. Well, same gen. So, despite... You know, this would be an amazing game for an HD remake. Just with the light, cheery atmosphere and stuff like that. Imagine if this game was running on modern hardware at 60 frames per second. With how bright, cheery, and fun it is, despite being a rather simple game. I actually... love chasing the dolphin around. All right, let's do some racing. Kawasaki.
Welcome to Sunny Beach.
Get ready for the first race.
See, I always thought Mario Kart superseded this. But this kind of jet ski racing was always... I always liked how bright and cheery this game was. Listen to that announcer. Now there's a guy that really, really loves his job. It's almost like some kind of Nickelodeon special. Bright, sunny Florida or California or something, and all the kids are doing something fun out on the beach or something like that. This totally has the same vibe. And by Nickelodeon, I mean 1990s Nickelodeon, of course. I believe some time ago they became SpongeBob Central, and then that was that. Now, we're talking about Nickelodeon Studios in Florida, which is now shown up on urban exploration channels. People go to that property and they mess around and, oh man. Hey, you know, the world of television has changed. 4 seconds ahead. Listen to that robotic sounding voice. I actually still have this on N64, I think. You know, now that I have this HDMI converter box, I'm not so sure I want to get rid of my consoles. So that's why today I placed the order for that Lowe's shelving that I want to get. Yeah! This game is just so bright and cheery. You could have had your worst day at work back in 1996. You come home and fire this game up, and, yeah. I still recommend it to this day, despite how obviously dated it is. Nintendo, HD remake on the Switch. Where is it? I know it's not a Mario game or anything, but...
Welcome to Sunset Bay.
Sunset Bay. Oh, this is awesome. The Sunny Delight course. Why? Well, look at the water. Start your engine.
2, 1.
It's like you're racing on Sunny D. Oh, these 1990s graphics. Oops. Whoops. I can't hear the announcer very well, though. I remember the announcer being a lot louder. What about Pilot Wing 6? Oops. Oh, at least this game doesn't have emulation issues, despite being official Nintendo. Yeah, I'll keep racing on the Sunny D. I have a Play Some Stuff video of this from years ago. More of a game review type format for this. I'm gonna bring that back over to YouTube. Because Nintendo has lightened up on some of their usually outdated policies towards social media, I've ended the blacklist of Nintendo products. So I have a Wacky World of Multimedia J from when I first got the Wii U, and I have the Play Some Stuff Wave Race 64 review to bring back over from Daily Motion. Just to flesh out the back catalog, now that Nintendo has lightened things up a bit. I'm gonna record something special. So I'm gonna record a special intro for that before I bring that over.
Oh! You did it! You finished first.
See, I think that actually I should bring over games that remind me of other games too. The reference to Skyrim and Zelda Ocarina of Time. See if it works better with Content ID, because that was the problem I ran into, was copyright issues with Nintendo.
Welcome to Drake Lake.
For many years, Nintendo was just awful at this stuff. They just didn't get the whole free publicity thing. They even tried to make an MCN at one point.
2, 1.
I don't miss those days. Drake Lake, I love this course. There's no waves. It's almost like Mario Kart. You got the geese flying around and the weather changes and the microphone's in the wrong spot. Love this. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff the N64 does that if you were around back in the day, it would make you forgive the chuggy frame rate. I mean, look at this horrible frame rate. This would never fly on today's hardware. But yeah, oh man. Look at that. And you could come in for time trials. You can actually turn on waves in here. Not that it makes any sense, because you're not on the ocean. I love this track, though. Whoa! Ah, we're gonna get a miss from that. See, this is part of what I want to do with these streams, is I want to play through a lot of these old games and go through the backlog, and if I used to have them 100% complete, I want to get back to having them 100% complete. Not necessarily trying to chase the past too much, but I got all this stuff. I don't even need MMO subscriptions. I could probably not even need MMO subscriptions for months to go through all these games. And of course, for the older ones, we'll cut things down to 30 FPS, so the bandwidth won't be ridiculous. Yeah, last month was ridiculous. First time I ever cleared a terabyte of bandwidth on any side. I downloaded over a terabyte of data. So the Twitch streaming, and that was from watching Twitch streamers, more so than streaming myself, because it's only 20 up here, but seriously. I had Twitch going that long that I cleared the terabyte mark, mostly from Twitch traffic, watching all these people streaming in 1080-60. Sadly, I'm doing some of that right now, streaming in 1080-60 on a game that's not even close. We'll have to fire up ESO and make it worth it in the end.
Fortress.
12:25 on the East Coast.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Nice!
So after Drake Lake, coming to something like this, a bit of a jarring experience. Maximum power! Floodgate's not open yet. I actually do have a jet ski game. It's not Red Out. What is it? Haven't played it in a while, but it's on Steam. It's not the same, though. I think Nintendo would definitely gain something by making something like this for today's systems. They could also do well by making a new F-Zero game as well. F-Zero hasn't been a thing since the GameCube. Which technically means, I don't know, there's never been an HD F-Zero game. Strange. Whoops!
Welcome to Port Blue.
Have a good race. 3, 2, 1, go! Nice!
I always thought this stage was too similar to the one before it. It does get a little difficult when you're in the tighter parts of the port. A little rusty at this game too, but not as much. I've actually played this game more recently than 1999, 2000.
Final lap, speed it up. Up to about 4 seconds ahead.
Ah!
Power, don't miss any more.
Flirting with disqualification now. And that's kind of the simple complexity of the game. It's just jet ski racing. The waves will bounce you all over the place. You're basically doing slalom racing here. Oh, look, the fat guy got ahead of me. Let's fix that.
Way to go!
So we hear some different music at the end of the race. Who cares?
You finished second and got 4 points. Nice going. Move on to the next round.
Still way out in front. I could bomb this
Welcome
race.
to Southern Island.
I could bomb this race and still do okay. It's the final round anyways, and this is where it gets really fun. And this is a very beautiful course.
Final round. Good luck.
Love the music too.
2, 1, go!
Straight out of some Van Halen type thing here. Let's just listen to it.
Power! Everybody.
And maybe it's just the whole thing where I tended to prefer the 80s over the 90s. I didn't really mind the goofy, super colorful stuff from the 80s versus the gray, every day is a bad day, all that crap. So, and that's what got me made fun of when I was growing up. For all 4 years of high school, made fun of for actually having self-esteem. Instead of moping about in flannels about how I was going to be a loser for the rest of my life. Half the people that got caught up in the grunge crap didn't have to believe in it anyways. Told the story numerous times. There's a guy who went to school with. He flicked fishing worms up on the ceiling and the drop ceiling tiles in the classrooms. Got him stuck behind the teacher's back. He set dry erase markers on fire, burned them like candles at his desk, then put them out and then brought them back to the board, and a really dumb teacher he had tried to use them and wondered why the marker didn't work. A little oblivious. This joker went to college and got straight A's after being a total goof-off in high school. So, I consider it a lifetime booyah that after 4 years of getting made fun of for having self-esteem, that half the people caught up in the grunge crap of the 90s didn't half believe in it to begin with. But that's the sort of thing you will never see in any yearbook. Can I sign your yearbook? Still got mine somewhere. I should read it just for the hell of it. Laugh at how stupid we all were. Well, like most people would. They don't call it youthful indiscretion for nothing. Yay, the fat guy! I got the fat guy on the podium too. Let the good times roll, Kawasaki, huh?
You are the champion! Congratulations!
Just for fun. Oh yeah, and this whole outro thing is also similar to an 80s TV show. I always loved how how bright and cheery this game was. Hey, just for fun, let's go to an intermission and switch to the Wii Virtual Console version of this.
You get to move up to the next class!
Woohoo! Not gonna do that this time, though. This bright and cheery soundtrack. Somebody's gonna make another game with a soundtrack like this. Somewhere along here. That's really good. What's missing here? Oh, I did play this before.
Wave race!
Mono, stereo, Mono. Stereo. Headphones. Stereo. Headphones. Stereo. Headphones.
What kind of headphones should you get?
Stereo. Headphones.
Oh, thank you.
Mono.
See, my TV was right channel only mono, so if I set it to stereo,
Stereo.
I just hear Rio.
Mono. Headphones. Mono. Stereo. Mono. Stereo.
Okay, enough of that. An early example from the mid-90s of a game where you could use it as your jukebox when you weren't playing. Keyboard rock! Oh, here we go. Drake Lake's theme. Get cozy, everyone. Oh, man. What's that keyboard rock? Vegas, baby. Might as well jump! Just because it has synthesizers doesn't mean they're ripping off Van Halen. That's enough of that. Let's change over to the Wii version and laugh at all the anachronistic advertising.